Hello people of the verse and welcome to the channel, the Eradicator here again, and in this video we will have a look at the flight model that has been changed in Star Citizen for 3.14. I was able to fly a couple of ships, quite a couple of different ships around the planet, and I gotta say that it definitely feels much different than anything we've had so far in the game. But before we talk about this, of course, this month's giveaway, as I am giving away to you guys, the subscribers of this channel, a Gattac Raylan with LTI. All you have to do is to subscribe to this channel and answer the giveaway question I'll ask later. Also, if you are a Patreon member or a Join Button member, you should have access to my Discord channel where I'm giving away, thanks to Unconfirmed Machimina, a G12 with LTI and 3 sets of Grey Cat armor, as well as $25, $10, and $10 in ISI gift cards thanks to Dragon Ghost. Good luck to everyone out there. Alright guys, now let's have a look at the flight model, which definitely is much different flying across the sky of Horizon, and pretty much in space as well, because that's where we'll be going further down the line as well. Is absolutely not the same, and it is going to require a couple of adaptation here for all of you guys who got used to the previous flight model. So that's why, if you have the chance, if you are in a wave 1 and later you are wave 2 or open PTU, try the PTU before going into the PU, because as you are going to see, it is a completely different ball game, and that's what we'll talk about in this video. So the things that I've noticed is that the smaller the ships are, the more difficult they seem to be to fly. I've been flying the Avenger. I've also flown an M50 and a Cutlass as well. Like I said, the Cutlass was absolutely the worst because it's totally not aerodynamic. And the easiest ship that I've flown so far on Horizon or around Horizon is this one, the Mercury Star Runner. But again, this is maybe not a surprise because, you know, it's a Crusader ship designed by Crusader Industries and made to be flying in such atmospheres. And one of the things that is much different compared to how it is before is definitely the feeling of those ships. It feels much more realistic, especially in atmospheres. Feels you are much more connected with the air that is surrounding you. If you have flown in Microsoft Flight Simulator, for example, some of the ways that the ships are flying are quite similar to the way you'd fly your planes in Microsoft Simulator. So that definitely would come handy, especially, for example, you want to turn your ship, then you have to you rotate your ship in a certain angle and then decrease the amount of thrusters that you have in your engines, and then it would turn the ship much easily. But then after, you have to accelerate your thrusters again in order to keep your vector, otherwise you will end up drifting and maybe even lose control if you have a smaller ship. So these are really exciting challenges, actually relearning how to fly, and the idea that if you are making mistakes, then these mistakes might not necessarily be fatal, but you may black out or lose control of your ship, which is pretty much what happened to me in the previous video as I was trying to descend through the center of the planet. I completely lost control of my ship because I just had no idea of what I was doing, and that is already, you know, it adds a sense of, you know, there are consequences for your lack of attention and eventually, I dare say, your lack of skill. So that's why it's going to be very important to really take the time to learn how to fly, have a look at the different mechanisms. And I gotta say that maybe one of the new things that are really changing the way you fly are the capacitors, especially the way that you use the booster in the past. For example, if you wanted to keep a certain vector, all you had to do was to press the shift tab for your booster, and it would make your ship go towards the direction that you want as quickly as possible. This is not the case anymore, simply for the simple fact that boosters are now limited to the amount of energy that your capacitors have in your ship, and that in itself is a huge difference. Now the capacitor here for the booster is the red gauge that you can see on the left side, and you can see it is stuck here at 24%. And the reason why it is stuck at 24% is because, well, you can see I'm doing a couple of maneuvers around the structures of Horizon, and by doing that I'm actually using my thrusters quite a lot, and my thrusters are so busy, all the power is going to the thrusters itself, meaning that the boost, the afterburner, is not getting any power for its own regeneration, which is why I gotta also be very careful. You want to have more booster, but you gotta have to maybe fly in a straight line, and then you will have more energy in your capacitor. So that's also something you have to keep in mind. Now I'm going to just fly up The ship is absolutely doing nothing but soaring through the sky and trying to escape at least the atmosphere of this gas giant planet Crusader. And as I am doing that, you can see that now the booster is getting extra capacity. We're going up 38, 39, and then soon 40%. So that again shows that you have to manage carefully your power, but not just your power. You have to do that by the way you are flying as well, and that is already quite a change. Now we are going to go in straight line here until we finally get out of the atmosphere, and getting out of the atmosphere does take a longer time than in any other planets. Obviously this makes sense because it's a gas giant, and normally when you can go into quantum travel mode, let's say if you leave Lorville or if you leave New Babbage, that would be at around the 10 kilometers mark. Here, that is not the case anymore. Horizon is at about 80 kilometers of altitude, which is kind of weird, right? But I guess maybe I would guess that 0 is the point of where in which the ships start to melt in the like you cannot go below 0, I suppose, because then it's very unsafe. I suppose that's how it's gonna be. So I'm just assuming here, of course. But the way you can when you can enter quantum travel is at about 145 kilometers above that particular line here, that 0 line inside the clouds of Crusader. So that is a long distance here. It definitely takes some time, but at the same time it's a good opportunity to just look at the atmosphere of this gas giant and just remain in awe. This is just so beautiful and gorgeous. Of course at night maybe not, right, because you don't really see that much at night, but during the day it definitely is. Alright, time to take a mission now, and this is one of those skimmers mission. This time it is around security post Corée, and it is also going to be a good opportunity to see how ships do fly in space as opposed to in atmosphere right now. I'm trying to scan where those skimmers may be. Let me tell you guys, I have no idea how the new scanner is working. Gonna have to look it up. As you can see, seems like there are some tiny little objects here. Maybe we found something here. All right, let's have a look. Again, gonna have to, I'm trying to use my booster to get a proper vector, but gonna have to watch out for the regeneration here. I have also all powers on my weapons, which is kind of a problem as well. You can see the 3 icons on the top. On the left one, it is the engines. On the top middle one, these are the shields, and on the right one, these are the weapons. I wish that they had different colors so they were easier to identify, and also their size is too similar in my opinion. I wish that they had shorter sizes if these are not the ones that do have power priority, for example. And so here you could hear weapon empty. How can energy weapons have empty power? Well, that's because now it's the capacitors. You know, you cannot fire indefinitely. So I'm trying to fire a missile here. Oh no, it seems like I have failed. You can see I just dump fired a missile, and I just waited for the missile to be locked. So now the missile is locked. I'm trying to fire the missile, and I can't. I'm just pressing as much as I can. There's probably something that I'm missing here. So gonna have to be working on the missile operator system as well. In the meantime, trying to destroy that skimmer here with, I only have 38 shots, by the way, with those lasers and guns. So not a lot here, as I am flying a Crusader Star Runner thing that I am actually missing. So that's the thing, you really have to get much closer to your targets, and this is just a stationary target. Can you imagine how difficult it's going to be when you will be flying an actual ship? Well, we'll be actually doing that right after that, and there we go. Now the time to kill is much shorter as soon as you have a closer range and you know what you're doing. So that is already something that is good to know, and we'll be trying again here with another ship here. This time we're going to try to fight maybe a Cutlass Blacks, or at least some of these ships that are going to be defending those skimmers here. Alright, well, definitely I got attacked here. Wow, that's a lot of my shields that were depleted here by those missiles. And yes, it's one of those defending cut like blacks. Let's have a look at where they are, because there are also some caterpillars as well. These are way too big to chew for my poor Mercury Star Runner. There's a caterpillar right here. Is this the Cutlass Black? Yes, there it is, trying to shoot me here. And we are going to have to be fighting at a much closer range, because we want to make sure that we are actually hitting the target, because if we don't, then the capacitors just get depleted and we can't shoot. Well, they can shoot maybe. So this is making combat much more dangerous, but at the same time much more exciting too. This is exactly how I had predicted it in previous videos. The idea of really managing your shots, making sure that every single shot that you are doing is counting. You can see the big difference compared to the past. In the past, you know, I was just fighting, I don't know, a kilometer, 1.2 kilometers and firing non-stop. This is not the case anymore. If you want to be successful in combat, you have to fight at a much closer range. And there we go. Time to kill is also a little bit shorter as well when you are hitting your targets. That's the thing. It's probably much easier to fight NPCs compared to players, because players will probably have a better idea of what they are doing. But there we have it, guys. This is going to give you maybe a better idea of how fighting with a ship in Star Citizen is going to be as well. And that's it for this video, guys. I hope that this enlightened you a little bit about what or how the new flight model is going to be in Star Citizen Alpha 3.14. Very different. Again, if you have the chance to be using the PTU, please do so, as it is going to be a great way for you to relearn how to fly. I'm telling you guys, it is much different than how it was before, not just in atmosphere but also in combat as well. And there's just so much to relearn, but at the same time I'm having a really positive impression of the new flight model and how Star Citizen plays. So that's all good so far. Pretty sure it's going towards the right direction. But let me know in the comment section down below, guys. What do you guys think of the new combat system in Star Citizen? Are you excited with it, or do you miss the old one? Let me know in the comment section down below. That's the giveaway question for this video. I'll see you guys tomorrow for more Star Citizen content. Definitely we'll be covering 3.14 further. This is the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later. And a big shout out to Tala for sponsoring this video. Thank you so much for your contribution on Patreon. This video is brought to you by the people who support this channel on Patreon and via the join button as well. Supporters of the channel get access to lots of cool perks, such as access to my private Discord, your question answered in the show, you get to know when I'm going to play, and also you get to have a chance to influence the editorial line of the channel. Any help is appreciated, starts at just $1 a month. Thank you very much for watching. This is the Eradicator, and I'll see you guys later.